Welcome back to Metals, Money, and Markets. We are at August 31st. For MiningClips.com, Rob Goodman, and as always, Mickey Fulp, the Mercenary Geologist, will run through this with us. Okay, Mickey, NAFTA 2.0, I think, was the big talk this week. So let's get right at it here. We're gold and off wheat.
Dollar was stronger. Gold failed at resistance at 1210, ended up at 1200 for a 0.4% loss. Silver lost 2%, closed at 1448. Platinum lost $4, closed at 785. Palladium had a very good week once again. It's up something on the order of about 8% over the last 4 weeks, closed at 975.
And copper off just a penny.
Copper was very weak over basically today. Was dropped 3 or 4 cents. If you look at the futures curve, the front month is in huge backwardation. I don't know if I've ever seen anything quite like this. 6 cents on the front month trade, and it's in backwardation for 9 months out. So there continues to be turmoil in the copper market, and I would attribute that to the threat that Trump's going to put tariffs on 200 billion goods of Chinese imports.
And heading over to these energy markets here, oil inventories down. A nice little move this week, 2% up.
Well, had a really nice rally. It was over $70 yesterday. Fell down a little bit today with a stronger dollar, closed at 69.93. This reflects some fundamentals. Much tighter market. Sanctions are starting to have their effects on Iran. U.S. had a $3 million barrel draw, so that was positive for the market. Rigs are up 4, production's flat. Get this, there are 3,500 DUCs, which is an acronym for drilled but uncompleted wells in the Permian Basin. So when these pipelines get built, which will be in the next year or so, you're going to see huge increase in U.S. shale oil production. Meanwhile, uranium continues on its upward tick. Poco a poco, it closed at 26.35, up 25 cents on the week.
And heading over to these currency markets, in a rare occurrence, everything was red this week.
Yeah, the currency markets ended up not moving much over the week, although the dollar had quite a rally over the last couple of days. It was down in the 94 region, closed the week at 95.09. Essentially no movement there. Euro lost 0.2 of a penny, closed at $1.16. The loonie lost a little bit too. It closed at 0.766. That surprised me a bit. Canada appeals court ruled against the Trans Mountain Pipeline, which is going to severely affect the Alberta oil industry. Ruled that natives were not consulted enough in that process. Also, the Canada-U.S. trade talks broke down today, although the latest news is that those talks are going to resume on Wednesday.
Yes, and heading to these equities markets, they sure ate the news up and pulled back a little bit on exactly what you just mentioned, but some new highs around here for the NASDAQ and S&P.
Yeah, the market really drifted today, although it had quite the rally at market close with this announcement that Canada and the U.S. are going to resume their talks on NAFTA. Big news this week, of course, was we got a deal done with Mexico. We'll see where this goes with Canada. It appears to me that Trudeau is very afraid. This is settled in really to dairy tariffs, and it's just a drop in the bucket, if you will. But for Trudeau, it's of great concern because a lot of his support comes out of Quebec, and these dairy supply management programs that Canada has is all geared toward Quebec. So we'll see where this goes. That said, all the markets finished at near or record highs. Record highs in the S&P 500 at 2902, NASDAQ record high at 8110, The Dow also had a nice week, 25,965, up 0.7%. The VIX was up. Markets are still somewhat nervous on trade talk between U.S., China, Canada, etc.
And don't look now, but the venture put together another decent week here, comfortably over 700.
Yep, it finished in the black 11 of the last 12 days. So we've seen this pre-Labor Day rally in anticipation of what's going to happen after Labor Day. This is sometimes occurs this way. It finished at 725, up 2%. So 7% gain over the last couple of weeks. Looks like the bottom is in unless everybody comes and sells off next week. Now we've seen that happen too, but volumes are very strong, up to 90 million shares over the last week or so, even though it was slow today with the holiday pending.
Okay, Mickey, next time we do this, it'll be September. Appreciate the insight, and enjoy your weekend.
All right, thanks a lot, Rob.